Hey guys, vegan confession time again. And I got a new little tripod toy thing. It's kind of neat. So that's why I'm standing. It's kind of easier for me to stand. At least I prefer it to sitting. And I got this little clicker. It's neat. I can just click it and then it'll start recording. Technology, huh? Anyway, I had a thought occur to me today that really helped me be more comfortable with the things I do and the world and the state it's in and everything. A lot of these confessions will probably come down to a very similar topic of like, how do I mentally get through on a day to day basis, seeing the things I see, engaging with the people I engage with, knowing that I've shown them these things and they don't give a crap, or they're going to continue and they prefer taste over life, or they prefer convenience over suffering or non suffering. And it's tough. I don't know how I'm going to do it long term. I don't know how anyone else does it long term. But something I thought of today really helped me. I started pretending I was in the United States during the time of slavery. I was looking around, I was on the bus actually, and I was looking around at signs and stuff around me as we were going by businesses saying, meat burrito, cheese 2000, super sale on all lamb and everything. And it's St. Patrick's Day today, so they're gonna be talking about roast beef and veal and every cheese on top of whatever you can get, everything milk based, just a whole lot of cruelty on sale today. And of course, everyone's gonna go buy it because they've been raised to, and they don't really think otherwise, and I can't blame them. But I started imagining I was in the South during the times of slavery, and that these were like slavery signs, like slaves on sale today, or come on down to the town square, live auction, just got off the boat. Instead of from farm to table, it's from boat to plantation. And that might sound awful, but in my brain, once I started pretending that that's the time of history that we're in, I could start realizing that, oh, well, in a few hundred years from now, this will all be gone. This is not how it's going to look. I know the outcome. I know what's going to change. I know that it won't always be this way. And so I can apply that same thoughts to, I know that we're not always going to have meat tornadoes on sale and cheesy fondue dip for a buck or whatever, because I can see the future. We've had the war, we've won it, and I have that foreknowledge. Obviously, I hope that with animal cruelty, it takes less than a few hundred years. That would be great. It'd be awesome if it happened in my lifetime, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So I was looking around, thinking, wow, I'm like an abolitionist, except I'm an abolitionist that knows we win the war. And so I could reposition my brain with that, like that with animals. Like I'm an animal abolitionist. If I just pretend this is the 1700s and that I've seen that we win this thing, it's a little more heartening. And I don't know, there's just some optimism there, thinking I don't have to worry, we win. So yeah, I know that it's a deliberate trick on your brain, but it helps. Try it. Yeah. Hi guys. I guess I'm not quite gone yet. I actually had a second thought today, before the slavery one, that I wanted to share as well. It's not quite as psychologically gimmicky as the earlier strategy, but it does kind of help as well. When I look around me and I see all these things to despair over in the world, when it comes to veganism and the foods and people's opinions about things, like I don't have a lot of day to day conversations with people, much at all, about veganism, um, just because I don't talk to a whole bunch of people outside of my family. But I have seen a lot of discussions and things online, and you always see those reactions from people like, perhaps you show them the cruelty that happens in the farm footage, and all that kind of stuff. And you have a genuine discussion about, the world and animals and everything that actually happens that they never see. And then maybe they even agree with you. And yeah, this stuff is cruel. Yeah, it's an awful industry. But then they say something like, but I just can't give it up. I like the flavor of such and such too much. Or, but I just love bacon. Or, my God, that's awful, but I can't give up cheese. Or whatever shit somebody says that is completely insane and sounds psychopathic to you. Like, yes, I agree cruelty is horrific, but I like the taste of something on my crackers, or I'd rather have a burger than such and such. Like it sounds insane. Like I can't believe somebody could ever value taste over life, or ever value convenience over non-suffering. It sounds psychopathic to me. But in those moments when I find myself losing patience with this species and thinking, why in the world do I even live on this planet? Why don't I just check out now? I try to remind myself also, this is a different tactic, that this species is still in its infancy. We've barely gotten anywhere yet. Right now, we're still a bratty teenager in middle school who can't think of anything but itself most of the time. It doesn't care about who it hurts around it or its environment or anything. Perhaps we're the bully. Seems appropriate. But there are so many cases, like I'm obviously personifying all of humanity as a person now, and that's not exactly accurate, but as a psychological tool, it helps. Because there's a potential for any bratty teenager or any bratty infant to actually grow up and become a mature adult that can contribute to the world in wonderful ways. I'm reminded of one of my favorite shows, Star Trek. I love The Next Generation the most, but I like all of Star Trek quite a bit. But obviously, one of the ideas running through that show, one of the themes, is a sort of semi-idealized future in which humanity has given up so many of its petty beliefs and superstitions and behaviors and traditions, and we've matured, we've grown up, we've taken responsibility, and we're actually reasonably responsible as a species. In fact, admirable in some ways. So when I become impatient with my fellow human beings and the world around me, I try to think, just be calm. You're a parent who has to try to put up with this snot-nosed teenager who's a bully and can't think outside itself. This is a phase. Hopefully it's just a phase and we actually do grow up. God help us if we don't, or more accurately, God help animals and the planet if we don't. But it's perfectly possible our species will grow up to be beautiful. It probably won't happen in my lifetime. It's kind of sad because people in my generation and earlier generations, and probably maybe even one or two after me, we will only see this state of humanity. We will only see this period of its life, its infancy or its bratty teenager phase. We will never see it when it's matured and potentially beautiful. And that's sad, but we just remember that. We just remember that we're raising a child. Our efforts are not for the benefit or for the immediate benefit of the species. They are for the eventual benefit of the species. We don't do it for humanity right now. We do it for the humanity that will grow up and this planet will see later. Because if we don't have this voice now, we don't influence it now while it's still in its infancy and it's still in its youth, it might never grow up to be that beautiful, mature adult of the species. So be patient parents, I guess, and remember that your child's a brat, but a lot of children grow up to be better. So yeah, give that a shot. Slavery thing doesn't work for you. Yeah. See you later.